All right, ex-subscribers, YouTube members, I'm doing another video. I have a member request for a deep dive into Mara. I'm going to do that second. First, I'm going to go through why we just need to keep our eye on the ball in terms of the big picture. Let the market do the work and minimize the number of moves that are made in these phases because the market is just attempting, in my opinion, to throw us off the scent in terms of what is really going on. And what do I mean by that? I've got a chart here up of USDT. This is Tether dominance as a percentage of total crypto market cap. And the theory here is, and just a reminder, as you all know, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take any of this as financial advice. I'm just giving you my perspective, my belief. Things I talk about could go up, they could go down, they could go sideways. I'm just here to educate and provide, I think, a unique perspective. And so when the theory here is when the percentage of total market cap in the crypto ecosystem goes to Tether, this Tether stablecoin, USDT, when more of it flows into Tether, people are selling or converting their crypto into the safe haven, basically the dollarized token of a dollarized token of the crypto ecosystem. So basically, you're parking your money and you're putting it on the sideline. You're taking it out of the market. Okay, and so as that rises, we see an inverse relationship. As that rises, the price of Bitcoin and crypto related assets drops. As the dominance percentage of the market cap drops, what does that mean? That means the money is getting generally converted into purchasing of crypto assets. And my main focus here is Bitcoin. And so to make some more sense of this concept, let's test it. Let's see if this is true. Let's see if the market has shown this, has bore this out in following it all the way back to 2020, and what levels the market has respected in terms of tether dominance, and what has the correlating price of Bitcoin done in specifically structures that are bullish when it comes to tether dominance. So a bullish structure with tether dominance is bearish for crypto or bearish for Bitcoin. A bearish structure, technical structure, is bullish for Bitcoin and crypto and Bitcoin mining stocks. And so if we go back to September 2020, this is where we start because this is an important level that the market has told us is respected. Secondary to that level is this level down here, okay? Clearly, this level started off as resistance. It was broken through. It was challenged twice as support, a third time as demand, fourth time. So you get the picture here. So this level here was important. Deviation below, deviation above, range, right? And then broke out of it. And then all this time up here, okay? And then deviation below, back above, and then below. And here we are right now kind of touching the underside of that area. What does this mean? Well, let's just look at what it meant for the price of Bitcoin along this path, okay? So from September 2020 to Bitcoin's all-time high in 2021, what happened with the structure itself? We had a big move, impulsive move down, and then we had a bear flag consolidation structure that broke down. Then we had a bear flagging consolidation structure that broke down, and then we had a reaccumulation, okay? Reaccumulation, LPS, and then it went up. This is where Bitcoin made its all-time high in 2021. Broke up, ending diagonal move, deviation, and then this is where Bitcoin, that summer of 2021, went down to the 30Ks, and then coming back down, all-time high in 2021. Whereas I think there was probably a lot of fraud in the market because the percentage of stablecoins in the market was actually higher when the price of Bitcoin was higher than it was in the spring of 2021. So that might have been a clue. Good to know, learning for later. All right, so those are the structures as it presented during the run to what I'm claiming was a corrective move for Bitcoin in 2021. Since then, what are we seeing with Tether dominance? This is a bull flag, a bull pennant, whatever. Where did it break out? It broke out with the same relationship that it came into it. Boom. What I'm calling this buying climax. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Let's now zoom more into this top structure, which is, well, if you kind of cheat sheet looking at this chart at the top, and I've done this exercise before, is what I'm calling the early stages of a distribution for tether dominance. You got your buying climax, you have an automatic reaction, secondary test, sign of weakness, you have an upthrust, and this upthrust in phase B was the FTX low. So that high in tether dominance corresponded to a low in the Bitcoin price. And then further upthrust after distribution, we got another test. This is back in the summer of 2023, early fall, where 25K was that support level that failed, went to 24 something. That was just a test. If you look at this diagram, upthrust after distribution test, and then started the move down. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this squiggly. And so what are we looking at since it's made its move down after distribution? We had a bear pennant. This was when the ETFs came out, where the ETFs ended up being a sell the news event, and we dropped to 30K. That pennant broke with the same amount of force as came into it, and we made the high in the 70K highs in March of 2024. And then on a larger time frame, we've got this massive consolidation structure, one of the biggest ones we've ever seen in Bitcoin, most certainly the biggest we've ever seen in a tight range of 35% after a 3x move off the lows. That's never happened before. We went to 48K, and then it was over, right? This past summer, it's over. Well, what have I been claiming? The energy in which it came into it is going to be expressed in the opposite direction. Right now, we're halfway there, folks. We're halfway there as it relates to tether dominance. And so if we zoom in on where we are today, specifically, we're doing the same type of thing we saw here, right? Little pit stop, little bear flag, bear pennant, whatever you want to call it. Where are we doing this? Into this zone the market has respected, right? Into this zone, into this zone, into this zone, okay? Now, most certainly could be a deviation. We've seen those before, right? So there's no guarantees in life. We saw a deviation there. Most certainly could see a deviation here. We saw a little deviation here. And so is it over now? I don't know. Could we work our way back in here? Sure, you could. But until those things happen, we have to maintain our bullish bias in the direction of the trend. And so directionally, at a minimum, I am not looking for any all-time high. I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. An all-time high, the earliest I would call an all-time high in Bitcoin is when we tag this bottom level. Okay? When the last two Bitcoin all-time highs have been tagged in that zone, 2.74 to 2.35. We get there, whatever the corresponding price is, whether it's 175, 320, 400, 265, whatever it is. Once we get to that zone, if and when we get to that zone, that will be an area where I'll be looking for potentially a short-term top in Bitcoin. All right, I hope that was useful. Next, for the Mara deep dive. Mara deep dive, I've got the weekly chart up, and not a lot to report since the last time I looked at Mara, I believe maybe a week ago. We're working on, when we zoom out, just this massive cup and handle type of formation. Got a breakout, and now we're kind of flirting with a retest, and it doesn't look great, right? It's not giving anyone the warm and fuzzies. We put our 30-week up. We can see that it's been flattening out. It's been flattening out, rising, flattening out. Really zooming in on that 30-week. Let's do this exercise. And we can see we're sitting on it right now. We're sitting on it right now. So of course I want to see a strong reaction at this 30 week. I want to see, right? Whereas before we breached it and had that monster candle, we're sitting on it. My contention is, the closer you get to expansion, the stronger the reaction should be around these key inflection points, around the 30 week. So I don't want to see a breach below the 30 week like we had a month ago, or like we had, 2, 3 weeks below it a month prior to that. As you get further along in an expansive, pre-expansive phase, you'd expect more strength. And right now, from a market structure standpoint, we have a high, have a higher low, we have a high, we have a higher low. Okay. And we had a previous high, higher low. So, changing character, higher low, uh, break of market structure on the weekly, higher low. All that's going on in the backdrop of some holiday week volume. I'm going to put the daily chart up. I'm expecting not to see anything to pop up at us from a volume perspective on this daily. Yeah, I mean, look at the volume here is not impressive. Right? We're very, very steep down. Not a lot of selling volume to accompany this selling pressure. We had a big move through this volume gap, right? Here's the node where the most volume has been traded since the summer low, that 25, okay? And that's where I'm contending this B wave came in. And we're working on trying to form the C wave of this 2, I believe. And where does it end? I don't know. Could it end here? Sure. Could we take one more stab down to the 17? Sure. I don't know. But what I do know is this: if and when volume returns, okay, a move through this volume gap works the same way. You could move through it in a day, if volume were to return, or 2 days, or 3 days. Uh, these things have a way of resolving themselves if, in fact, we're working on a high time frame impulse next. Then that would be my expectation for this price action to be engulfed in a relatively short amount of time. And then my, the price target coming out of this is for Mara, uh, at least a double. I would expect at least a double to get to this 3, if not more. Ultimately, the question is when that happens, and we're going to find out. So again, I hope that provides some context. I know this name has been frustrating people, but again, the high beta returns do not come without high pain. That's just the way that it has worked traditionally in my experience, and uh, and that's all I can say. I hope you found this informative, and we look forward to continuing to do more of these. Take care.